Val Thorens is the traditional season opener for the Trophy Andros, and this year there's a star name with us, 9-time World Rally Champion Sebastian Loeb, not only competing here in Val Thorens and at the season finale in Superbest, but he's also brought his own team of cars. And his cars, like everybody else's, are different this year because Trophy Andros has gone all electric. It is now the E-Trophy Andros. Cars are tube frame chassis, they weigh 1,000 kilos, they produce 350 horsepower, 275 kilowatts, and are four-wheel drive with four-wheel steering. There'll be 6 race weekends, Andorra in 2 weeks' time. Then in January, we'll be at Isla 2000, Serre Chevalier and Lens-en-Vaucourt, before Superbest's Super Final on the 1st of February. Well, let's take a look around the Val Thorens track. We ride on board with 4-time and reigning champion JB Dubourg, Jean-Baptiste driving his brand new all-electric Renault Zoe. Carrying as much speed as possible over the start-finish line, and you immediately see why these cars have side windscreen wipers into the tight hairpin, trying to keep the speed up here, and then out of the tight right-hand hairpin, starting to build up speed along this curving back straight. Delicate braking here to set the car up for the final corner, a huge sweeping right-hand 180 degrees. There is the start-finish line once more, the lap just over 40 seconds for 900 metres. We'll start our racing with the Elite Pro Final Day 1 of the Trophy Andros. This for the drivers who didn't make it through into the top 6 Super Pole. And Nico Prost is on pole, the blue car ahead of Christophe Ferrier, the multiple electric champion. Sebastian Loeb third in his red machine ahead of Benjamin Rivière and Olivier Pernot. Away they go. Yellow flags permanently out at the first corner at the start of the event here in Val Thorens. Otherwise, history tells us there will be multi-car pile-up, so no overtaking there. Sebastian Loeb, though, already piling the pressure on Christophe Ferrier, who was a little slow away. Now they are under green flag conditions. Prost sweeping round the first corner, comfortably clear. Sebastian Loeb up the inside. Too tight, though, hasn't got the traction. Christophe Ferrier stays inside, keeps the door closed. And now Sebastian Loeb trying to fight his way through a shower of ice crystals. That's why wipers on the front and side windows are really important. Well, Nico Prost running away with this. The battle is behind between Christophe Ferrier and Sebastian Loeb. Loeb looking very racy here. 9-time World Rally Champion. He's also raced prototypes at Le Mans, and he raced for 3 seasons in World Touring Cars for the Citroën team as well. So he's got lots of circuit racing experience. He's got lots of rallying experience, and everything that he knows is now being put into trying to get by Christophe Ferrier. So Prost is gone. Can Ferrier keep Loeb behind? Again, Loeb with a tighter inside line. Clearly the plan is to shoot up the inside of Ferrier on one of the hairpins and just try and block his exit. But Christophe Ferrier doing a great job at the moment. Lap 2 down on lap 3, midway through these short sprint races. And again, Ferrier, drifts out a little wide. Chance here for Sebastian Loeb now. Does he have the line better? It's a little late to respond by the time Ferrier's late on the brakes. Loeb will be too late to respond as well. Nico Prost leaving them in his wake, showering them with ice crystals, and Ferrier getting wider and wider. Loeb again on the inside, and again can't find the traction to take advantage. Climbing into this little uphill right-hander. Loeb this time with a run. Here we go. Let's see if he's got what it takes. No, just off the corner. Ferrier keeping his nose in front. Little touch there. Well, like touring car racing, a little bit of contact is just about accepted. And Christophe Ferrier really feeling the pressure here from Sebastian Loeb. Reverse flicking the car under braking. And Loeb again with that tight line. That's the only way you're going to pass here. You can't go around the outside. That's far too easy to defend, and their justice and the traction. When loose snow and ice gets thrown to the outside, like in Speedway, you get into the banks and it slows you down, and Ferrier's done exactly that. Loeb with him, still underneath him. Can he get by? No, because of course the next hairpin is a left-hander. This time though, Loeb is right with him, nudges Ferrier a little. Ferrier still clinging on in front of Sebastian Loeb, and still out front is Nico Prost. But all eyes on the battle for the second and third positions on the podium. Christophe Ferrier doing a great job at holding off the former World Rally champion. And Ferrier really at home here with the electric vehicles, but this time he's got in yet again too deep, and surely Loeb this time has got him under the arch. They come to start the final lap. Didn't get by. Fantastic stuff from Ferrier, but again, in too deep, and this time Loeb makes no mistakes. Dives up the inside, there's a little bit of contact, through he goes. So Sebastian Loeb leads, but he too drifts out wide. Well, the battle between them has allowed Nico Prost to get 3 seconds up the road. No one is going to catch him unless he makes a big mistake and plants it in the wall. So Nico Prost heading towards his first win of the season in this Elite Pro Day 1 final, and gets the last lap shown. Lap 6 of 6, Nico Prost 3.2 seconds ahead Sebastian Loeb. And in fourth place it's Olivier Pernot, who came through from the back row of the grid. There he is, just ahead of Benjamin Rivière. They have spent a lot of time racing in Trophy Andros, both did the full season last year, as did Nico Prost. And Nico going to start here with a win. He's going to need to up his qualifying game though to get through into the super final, where you get more points added to your total for the weekend. Checkered flag is out. Win number 1 of the season for Nico Prost. Sebastian Loeb, more French royalty, in second place. And in third place, dropping away there at the end, is Christophe Ferrier, the multiple electric champion. Nico Prost also raced electric cars last year, so he'll be familiar with those. Sebastian Loeb only did the super final, the Stade de France 30th anniversary celebration last year. So he's here this weekend at Val Thorens and will return in Superbest at the end of the season. Not a championship contender, but clearly a big fan favourite. Nico Prost, though, will hope to mount a serious challenge for the title this year. Nico Prost, though, claiming victory, and 8 points for him. Sebastian Loeb, Christophe Ferrier ahead of Olivier Pernot, and Benjamin Rivière's Peugeot 208 retired after the midway distance. Next up, super final for the Elite Pro class. These are the guys who went through in the top half dozen. Yann Erlaché ahead of JB Dubourg. The AS01 is the standard Trophy Andros electric racer. Olivier Panis, row 2, ahead of Son Aurélien. So those are going to be entertaining to separate. Olivier will have the green highlights and the blue for Aurélien. And Andres Baccarud and Nathaniel Berton will be on row 3 in Audi and Peugeot respectively. There'll be no overtaking into the first corner as before. Other than that, it will be free for all. Away we go, good start by Yann Erlaché, alongside him JB Dubourg, Aurélien Panis challenging his dad Olivier, but as they get into the yellow flag zones, the white and green of the Petit Forestier AS01, Olivier Panis in third. Challenge already from JB Dubourg on Yann Erlaché. Erlaché out very wide in the first corner in the dark blue Debussy AS01. And the Renault Zoe right behind. Third place then for Olivier Panis. He's right with them. Aurélien in fourth. And Andres Baccarud, number 12, stays ahead of Nathaniel Berton midway round the first lap. Yann Erlaché, though, not escaping in the way that Nico Prost was able to. JB Dubourg and Olivier Panis going with him. That's the 1, 2, 3. Aurélien Panis, car number 3, in fourth place. And Olivier Panis getting himself all at 6s and 7s then, loses a tiny bit of ground to JB Dubourg. Erlaché nearly a second away from Jean-Baptiste Dubourg in second place now. And so Erlaché needs to try and keep his nose in front. We saw Olivier Panis have a lunge into the hairpin inside JB. And JB Dubourg having none of it. Now Aurélien Panis is closing in on his dad's tail in fourth place, leaving Andres Baccarud in fifth in his ice crystal. So Erlaché still leads in the dark blue car. Second with the Renault Zoe is JB Dubourg. Olivier Panis, car number 4, the white and green. And Son Aurélien Now Aurélien has dropped back again. He's made a mistake there too. So that's the 1-2-3. Erlaché, Dubourg and Olivier Panis. Aurélien in fourth ahead of Andreas Bakkerud. Looks like Nat Bertrand had problems early on. He's 6 seconds behind, and pressure from Olivier Panis on JB Dubourg. And this is a replay of Sebastian Loeb trying to get by Christophe Ferrier. Olivier Panis was racing electric Trophy Andros races last year when the top class was a combination of normal internal combustion engine cars and electric cars. JB, though, first time with full electric power. And it is a different kettle of fish. Sounds different, feels different. The way that the electric motors produce instant torque. All the power is all there all of the time whenever you call for it. So you really have to feel your way around these cars. And Olivier Panis looking on the inside. Son Aurélien behind in the Enedis Energy Audi A1. Trying to close in, but this battle is staying with Yann Erlaché. Erlaché a little over a second clear. Olivier Panis, as ever, sleeves rolled up. Super aggressive. I'd love to see Olivier Panis in World Rallycross. I think he'd be a fantastic catch for the series, but here, really taking it to Jean-Baptiste Dubourg. And Olivier Panis, as well as helping to manage his son's racing career, also a team boss, runs a sports car racing team that races in Le Mans style racing. Now throws it up the inside, block pass on Jean-Baptiste Dubourg, but he misjudges it, backs it in, and Aurélien Panis could be the beneficiary. JB Dubourg just gets going in time and gets the door shut on Aurélien, but Aurélien up the inside in the Audi, not taking no for an answer. He goes through into second. So a mistake by Olivier Panis in his challenge for second, leaves Jean-Baptiste Dubourg in third, but allows Aurélien Panis to sneak through for second. High drama there. Aurélien Panis in second, JB Dubourg in third. There's Andreas Bakkerud. And there's Nathaniel Bertrand. So we've lost Olivier Panis. We saw him trying to turn the car around. Maybe he's had to pull off with damage. Erlaché leads nearly 5 seconds ahead of Aurélien Panis. JB Dubourg looks set for the podium. And there's Andreas Bakkerud and Nat Bertrand, car number 5, chasing him. Yann Erlaché in his first run out in the Premier class here. Last year he raced in the electric series. And it looks as though he is heading for his first outright victory in Trophy Andros. A real chip off the old block. Mother Cathy, super successful single-seater racer, perhaps born a generation too early. Nobody wanted to know about women racing when she was in her prime. But her son, Yann Erlaché, doing a great job, claims victory in the first Elite Pro Super Final in the Trophy Andros 2019-2020. Aurélien Panis in second, JB Dubourg in third, Andreas Bakkerud in fourth, ahead of Nat Bertrand. But a big win for Yann Erlaché, claimed the Super Pole and victory. So he leads with 65 points from JB Dubourg and Aurélien Panis. Olivier Panis in fourth on points total, despite not finishing. And Andreas Bakkerud, Nat Bertrand and Nico Prost, the winner of our Elite Pro Final. So there is our happy winner of the day, Yann Erlaché with JB Dubourg in the beard, and on the right-hand side of your picture, Aurélien Panis. Sunday's final for the elite class, for the less experienced of the drivers or the amateurs. Stoffan von Tyre ahead of the only female racer Clementine Lost. Jeremy Sahi and Eddie Benezet on row 2 into the yellow flag zone. Von Tyre ahead of the number 10 of Clementine Lost as they go green under the Trophy Andros arch. Again, 6-lap sprint. So Von Tyre, the leader, drifts out wide onto the tarmac. Clementine Lost in second place. Jeremy Sahi in third ahead of car number 6, Eddie Benezet. And then Louis Rousset and Ludovic Girardi, the number 1 Renault Zoe. And these are the cars that are driven in the Elite Pro class by their teammates as well. And in fact, that's produced a problem for one of the expected stars, Franck Lagos, the ex-Grand Prix ace, sharing his car with Laurent Millara. Millara wrecked it in qualifying. Lagos unable to compete, as is Millara, throughout the weekend. That means that Franck Lagos will have to be perfect in the remaining 5 race weekends. He's lost his 2 jokers. You can discard a couple of scores. He's going to have to discard the zeros because they're going to be, well, his worst scores. He can't get worse. So Stefan Vontaer leading. Clementine lost in 2nd place, number 10 machine. Jeremy Sahi right behind. And then Eddie Benezet in number 6 machine, and Clementine lost getting hooked up on the corner. She got clattered by Jeremy Sahi, but Eddie Benezet there, broken right rear wheel. Contact as he got stuck in the corner. I think it was Louis Rousset who couldn't avoid him. Rousset and Girardi go through, and Clementine lost. Her mistake, which Jeremy Sahi then ran into her, cost Eddie Benezet. He got hooked up, tried to turn the car around, but got clumped from behind. So Benezet is out. And it was Louis Rousset in 4th, and Ludovic Girardi in 5th, but a runaway leader, Stefan Vontaer. He's got plenty of experience. Clementine lost. Was a top female racer a number of times last year, battling with the likes of Margot Lafitte. She hangs on to 2nd in the number 10 machine. Jeremy Sahi, Eddie Benezet out, just ahead of Louis Rousset and Ludovic Girardi. So Benezet's car parks there on the corner. That takes away one possible overtaking opportunity. Stefan Vontaer racing away here, and everybody else battling. Clementine lost for 2nd place. Ludovic Girardi flying around at the back in the ice crystals in the Renault Zoe. And he shares with the champion JB de Bourg. Jeremy Sahi piling the pressure on. Clementine lost, and this is all allowing Stefan Vontaer to go through. But look at this, up the inside, Louis Rousset. Oh, over-ambitious, and Clementine lost just gets going in 2nd. Everybody else is in 3rd. Jeremy Sahi, I think, comes back in 3rd. He does. And Ludovic Girardi trying to go the long way around the outside. Yellow flags are out, so he shouldn't pass, and in fact he can't anyway. And Louis Rousset, who created that last little bit of drama, he hangs on in 4th, but again up the inside. This is Jeremy Sahi. He goes through for 2nd. Clementine lost under pressure from Louis Rousset, who bumps his way through. Black flag for Louis Rousset for driving standards. Well, what's left of his car will have to head into the pits. He's not paying much attention to that, is he? He's going to claim, of course, that he didn't see it, but the organisers did. Up the inside, Clementine lost, basically parks the car on the corner, try and get by him. And Louis Rousset, now he's still fighting on, but Clementine lost. He's going to take 3rd anyway. Louis Rousset has been shown the black flag, not a black and white, even a black flag. Stefan Vontaer leads. Jeremy Sahi in 2nd, 3rd on the road, or the ice. Louis Rousset, 1 to go. So Vontaer leading comfortably. Sahi in 2nd, 9 seconds back after all the battling. And Clementine lost, although she's 4th at the moment in number 10 machine, should take 3rd. We clearly saw the black flag being shown to Louis Rousset, even though he may not have. Here's our leader then, Stefan Vontaer. Number 12 machine he shares with Andreas Bakkerud. And he'll bring that back to Andreas in prime condition, won't he? Not a mark on it. Last lap, and a runaway commanding win for Stefan Vontaer. He claims victory here in the elite class. And the battle for 2nd to the flag. Jeremy Sahi hanging on ahead of the number 4 machine of our resident bad boy. And that car will need a bit of work before it's handed back to Olivier Panis. But it is Stefan Vontaer with a handy points lead over Jeremy Sahi, and Clementine lost after the first weekend. Day 2, E-Trophy Andros and our Elite Pro Super Final Grid with Aurélien Panis on pole ahead of Nico Prost, the Audi and the Renault. On row 2 is Sebastian Loeb in the Sebastian Loeb racing machine. with Jean-Baptiste Dubourg alongside him in the Renault Zoe. And in the third row of the grid, we find Jan Erlechet, our day one winner, and Andros Trophy. So fortunes swinging between the drivers here in Val Thorens, the season opener for the E-Trophy Andros. Aurélien Panis with the blue and white, Nico Prost with the blue and red on his Renault. Then Sebastian Loeb racing. Sebastian Loeb himself with the red, and away we go. Good start by Aurélien Panis. Nico Prost cuts in front of Sebastian Loeb. JB Dubourg in fourth place. Yellow flags out as ever at the first corner. Doesn't stop jockeying for position, does stop overtaking. Jan Erlechet, the dark blue, fifth, and Andros Trophy in sixth position. Now the racing gets underway as Sebastian Loeb looks up the inside of Nico Prost. There's your leader, Aurélien Panis. Prost, the number 7 Renault, number 1 Renault in fourth is JB Dubourg, and Loeb makes his move immediately. Prost slow off the corner, and Loeb bumps his way through on the inside. Rally cross, Trophy Andros, sports car racing, Porsches, GTs, he's done it all, and he never loses his competitive streak. He's even raced go-karts. The former elite gymnast, Sebastian Loeb, and the gymnastics loss, and perhaps, who knows, maybe even the Olympic Games loss has been motorsport's win. He's in second, and Nico Prost third ahead of JB Dubourg in the battle of the Renaults. Aurélien Panis flings it into the hairpin, trying to get the traction for the uphill section. The race leader ahead of Sebastian Loeb. Well, Loeb from his first victory in Superpole. Can he get a win here? Battle for third. Nico Prost still just ahead of JB Dubourg. Jan Erlechet getting it all wrong there at the hairpin ahead of Andros Trophy. That might open up a battle for fifth. It is Panis, Loeb, and then Prost and Dubourg. Prost in 7, Dubourg in 1 in the 2 Renaults. That's the battle for the final podium spot here as we head on to the third of our 6 laps. Panis and Loeb, and then Prost and Dubourg. Well, there's 1.3 seconds first to second. There's 1.3 inches between third and fourth. Up to the hairpin they come. Erlechet ahead of Trophy, and Prost coming under increasing pressure still from JB Dubourg, who's unable to get through. Maybe here, Dubourg on the inside, tight line, but just can't get the car rotated, and Nico Prost hangs on. Aurélien Panis making this look pretty easy ahead of Sebastian Loeb. Loeb not able to close the gap. And Prost in third, still hanging on from Dubourg. Erlechet closing in, bringing Trophy with him, 11 and 12. They are in 5th and 6th positions. Well, this is Aurélien Panis's to give away. Gaps out to 1.4 over Loeb. Prost still clinging to the third podium spot. Loeb, I think, though, looking to try and make moves towards the end of this race. And Erlechet under real pressure from Trophy. Aurélien Panis and Sebastian Loeb scrabbling for grip. They've got to adjust their driving style and the line here to try and find where the ice is and avoid the tarmac. Panis and Loeb, 1-2. Then the teammates behind, Prost and Dubourg. Dubourg trying to force the error from Prost, doesn't want to bash him out of the way. Erlechet behind in 5th, not closing anymore. So Panis versus Loeb for victory here. For third place, it is Prost ahead of Dubourg, and I'm sure the only team orders from DA Racing this early in the season are don't take each other out of the race. Prost will want the points, so will JB, but the reigning champion can't really expect the team to be waving him by this early in the season. What happens if he has disaster next time out and Prost romps away? Then suddenly those points taken away from one of the teammates may end up costing the team any chance of a championship. Lap 5, Sebastian Loeb still exploring ways of finding more traction. So is JB Dubourg in the number 1 machine, and still trying to find a clean way by his teammate Nico Prost. Last lap on Sunday in Val Thorens. Aurélien Panis, along with Jan Erlechet, Ivan Muller, will head off to Malaysia after this for World Touring Cars. But before all of that, Aurélien Panis looking to win here on the ice. Sebastian Loeb coming close. Sebastian Loeb Racing will be running cars in WTCR in Malaysia as well. Seb won't necessarily be there. Third place, Nico Prost still just ahead of JB Dubourg. And although Sebastian Loeb is closing, the final corner is completed safely for Aurelian Panis. The checkered flag waves. It is victory for Aurelian Panis. The Elite Pro Super Final on Sunday, ahead of Sebastian Loeb. Third place for Nico Prost, JB Dubourg in fourth, Jan Erleche in fifth, and Andros Bakarud rounding out the Super Final in sixth position. But delight there for the Audi driver. Aurelian Panis claiming victory here in the Sunday Super Final for Elite Pro. Got the points for fastest lap as well. So he outscores Sebastian Loeb and Nico Prost for the day. That is a big day at the office for Aurelian Panis, the day's winner. So confirmation of the overall score after the first 2 days of racing. Aurelian Panis leaves Val Thorens with a points lead from Jan Erleche. JB Dubourg, the reigning champion, 9 back in third place. And Sebastian Loeb, we will see him again in Super Bess, so all the others will overhaul him as the season progresses. But a good opening race weekend for him. And a great opening race weekend for Aurelian Panis, who leads the series.
We have more to come after the break as we head to the Perth Motorplex for the latest instalment of the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Cars.